Good afternoon, everyone. Most of you who've been watching our videos for the last year and a half or so realize that the majority of our videos cover both cosmetology and barbering. Today I want to speak really mostly to the cosmetology students. Now, most of you are probably using this book. It's the newest book, about January of 2013. If you're not, you're in big trouble. Here's the problem. Your cosmetology test uses at least 5 textbooks to create your test questions. Every day we get students calling us saying, I studied, I was doing really well in school, I was getting 90s on all my tests in school, I failed my state board test this morning and I felt like I never saw most of those questions. And the simple truth is, you never did see most of those questions. This new Milady textbook has about 1,300 pages. But the questions don't just come out of this new Milady textbook. They come out of the prior Milady textbook that had 1,000 pages, and the one even before that that had 900 pages. So right there you're looking at, 3,000 pages. But here's the real kicker. They also come out of the Barber book. And those of you who don't believe they come from the Barber book, let me ask you this question. Look through all your cosmetology books and try to find the word asteatosis. A-S-T-E-A-T-O-S-I-S. You won't find it. You'll find it in the Barber book, and it's on your state board exam for cosmetology. The other thing that I find surprising, but I've been doing this for a long time, is how much more thorough and complete the Barber book is on hair color than the cosmetology book. It goes into it much more deeply. Now, the cosmetology book has a lot of pretty pictures, none of which will be on your test. The Barber book has less pretty pictures, but more actual factual information. Your state board exam hair color questions are primarily coming from the Barber book. And any teacher that tells you that that's not true has clearly not read the Barber book, because every teacher that has read the Barber book agrees with me every time I go to a state board meeting. So ask your teacher, and that'll tell you all you need to know about your teacher's skill set. Now, I'm sure I just alienated many teachers. I don't care. I'm not here for them, I'm here for you. The other thing to keep in mind is this test also uses the Pivot Point textbook, another 1,000 to 1,200 pages. And finally, they use the esthetician book. And again, those of you who disbelieve that, try to find the word organelle in your cosmetology book. You won't see it, but you'll see it on your cosmetology state board exam. So you have at least 5 textbooks, right? 3 from Milady Cosmetology, 1 from Milady Barber, and Pivot Point. You have a lot of books going on here, maybe 5,000-6,000 pages. And I'm going to take a wild guess, none of you read 5,000 or 6,000 pages, because I sure didn't. I don't think any of my students did. Your teacher should read 5,000 or 6,000 pages. That's what they're getting paid to do. That's what you're paying them to do. Now, if they didn't read 5,000 pages, and they probably didn't, you want to go to our website, www.cosmetologystateboardexam.com. We have free practice tests. We also sell the study material. It's not a textbook to read, not number 7. It's just a book of questions and answers, about 125 pages, has about 650 questions. Now, people will tell us, well, we only have 80 or 90 or 100 questions on our test. That's true. But do you know which 80, 90, or 100 questions? Because if you do, you should write your own book. Of course you don't. Just like you and I don't know the lottery numbers. Knowing last week's lottery numbers won't help you this week. Knowing what your friend was asked yesterday will not help you pass your test tomorrow. There's hundreds of questions in the state board's computers. They push a button and your test pops out. It will never be the same. This is why so many students call us shocked. I've taken the test multiple times and I do worse every time. The questions are not going to be the same. Now, the other little problem here, this. It's a tablet. Most of you are familiar with it. A lot of schools are doing this now instead of giving you a textbook. And I use the word giving very loosely. They didn't give you anything. They sold it to you. They sold you a tablet, and they sold you, or more correctly, leased or rented you the material. Now, Pivot Point is famous for this, but Milady's catching on too. This is not a good deal for you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now I know most of you are young, and as young people are fascinated by technology, the problem is When you finish school, your lease expires. You might still have the tablet, but the tablet no longer has access to the material on your test. So now you have nothing to study. Students call us all the time. I had 2 this morning. I'm doing this video today. It's really stuck in my head. 2 people this morning. One in Texas, one in Illinois. Graduated school a couple of months ago. Test is coming up in 3 weeks. Nothing to study. They've got their tablet, but it no longer gives them access to the pivot point material. The school rented this to you, and now you're gone and they don't care. You have a couple of choices. You can go onto the websites for Pivot Point and Milady and buy all the books, all 6 books. You spend about $4,000 and read about 6,000 pages. Or you can go to our website, get our book, 125 pages, $50. Read every question and every answer you will need for your test. If you don't think that's enough and you need some private tutoring, give us a call, 760-534-4434. We do private tutoring. It's 6 classes. We will march you through every single page in your book. And if you don't have a book, you'll take a pen and a piece of paper and write down the things we tell you that you would highlight if you had a book. Once again, the disadvantage of having your school take advantage of you by selling you a tablet and renting you a program that you don't have access to at the time you most need it. Now, I'm sure I've alienated every school owner, every school director, and half the teachers by what I've said in this short video. I don't care. I don't work for them. You don't work for them either. You paid them a lot of money. They dropped the ball. You didn't get what they promised you. Give us a call, 760-534-4434, and you will pass your test.